Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Urban Legend, the internet podcast about urban legends, which is the largest by volume. I am one of your hosts, Chris Flynn, and with me is another one of your hosts, Mr.
Neil Herbert. How you going,
Neil,
Chris?
I'm all right, mate. We had some discussions off air, and it's fair to say that last week I got very angry at the article and the person who wrote it about Momo the monster. I felt like he'd tricked me.
Yep.
And you have suggested that maybe my ire was aimed at the wrong group of people when I got quite angry with the listeners and at the end. So I would just like to apologise to the listeners. I lashed out. Hurt people. That article did hurt me, and I hope that we can move on, and I'll try and improve my behaviour in future. Was that okay, Neil?
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay, good.
So Neil, a learning experience.
Yeah, some people say that. So Neil, I understand it's been your fun birthday day this week.
It was on. I'm not saying how old I am, but yeah, it was my birthday on Sunday. We're now recording on Tuesday, I think. Yeah.
Really?
I've got to that age where I can't remember what day of the week it is. I'll give you an
lovely.
indication.
Well, people can have a guess then.
Yeah.
So did you have a nice?
Yeah.
Did you have a nice day? Did you have some cake?
Yeah, I had some cake.
What type of cake?
Bit of steak. What was it? It was raspberry.
Cake and steak.
Cake and steak. No, raspberry turnover. Actually, now I think about it, was a pastry rather than a cake. But similar, isn't it?
I can't in my eyes envisage what a raspberry turnover cake is.
It's like in pastry with like cream and sort of some raspberry kind of sweet sauce in it, like an apple turnover or something like that.
Oh, okay.
They're like triangle shaped things,
What, like a samosa, like a sweet samosa?
Yeah, in a way. But made with sort of sweet flaky pastry and all that business.
Was your steak also in a triangular shape?
Yeah, it was covered in raspberry sauce. Yeah, no.
I know you've got that weird food thing where you'll only eat triangles. So
it was almost triangular actually. It was like is it picana? I can't remember the it's like I think top cap or whatever they call it. But I think it's like Brazilian cut. But yeah, anyway, that was not exactly triangular, but yeah.
Because I remember when we went to a burger joint and you sort of.
That's why I only ever go to Wendy's and I insist they cut them in half.
Cut them in half, yeah. That's
along the diagonal, so I can have them as triangles.
They were going to put a slice of cheese on, and you said, "I'm not eating that." And then the person cut it in half, and you said,
More like it. Now,
what other triangular foods do you like now? Slices of watermelon.
Slices of watermelon.
Shave off a bit.
Carrots cut into triangles.
Slices of anything round, really, provided that
it's been cut into a triangular shape.
Yeah, provided you kind of shave off the circular, the outside,
the excess, as I call it,
the diameter of it. Yeah. Any other triangle food that you like?
Well, I'm trying to think of something that comes naturally in triangle shapes.
Pizza, you like pizza?
Yeah, pizza. That's true.
So how?
Although I do have to have the crust cut straight. Yeah, that's not a triangle otherwise.
And you insist on only being presented with one slice at a time.
Yeah, I like it like, or they can slice around the outside, so it's like a octagonal or whatever it might be.
Well, that's right. You get rid of the crust then as well, don't you?
Yeah, there you go. Win-win.
The most perfunctory part of the pizza, unless it's stuffed with, I don't know, a sausage. I believe they do.
A whole other pizza seems to be
the thing. A KFC inside the crust. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's only a matter of time before they start putting fried chicken inside.
There in America, I was listening to a podcast, and in America at the moment, they have like a KFC have like a chizza, which is like
is that chicken, a pizza put on top of a chicken breast or something?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But what it is it's like a bit chicken, but with like marinara sauce and cheese and pepperoni and stuff.
I wouldn't say that. It's not really that double down. I mean, it'd just be really greasy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think
sort of thing you might try once.
Yeah,
I think I tried like a chicken parma.
I think I tried one where it had like the layer of bechamel sauce in between two, like
chicken breasts. Yeah, they call that the double.
No, not in that. No, not that. No, like the pizza, the double decadence. That's it. Domino's.
Oh, I never. Yeah, this is the one where they had like the filling in between the layers.
Yeah, it's like bechamel sauce. Yeah,
is that what
it's like a weird lasagna.
Sounds fucking nasty.
So Neil,
was it any good?
Well, I had it once, so I think that tells you all you need.
Exactly. I was going to say, I can't see the point. Just pizza's pizza. Need to fuck about.
Yeah, it kind of made the dough worse and also the sauce worse.
Said it what I like is like lack of crispiness in my pizza. You could just make it more damp.
No, because what they did is because of that, the scientists at Domino had
scientists
had changed the crust, so it was almost like a biscuit crust at the bottom. So it was too hard, too
toothsome. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the instruction integrity to hold the bechamel sauce there, which should have told them something.
That's true.
Having to rebuild the foundation of your pizza, maybe you're doing something wrong with it. Anyway, yes. Lesson I learned when I tried to cook one at uni, scratch. Just put far too much topping on. I made like a pizza completely like from flour from scratch and the rest of it. And what didn't work was the fact I the first time I tried it, just put far too much topping on. Something you learn.
Just come out soggy, didn't it?
Yeah, it just came out all soggy, uncooked.
Still ate it.
No, what I did was I just sort of took all of the sauce, tipped it all into a sauce pan, and then just made it into like a pasta dish instead. I'm going to waste all that topping. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to waste it. Anyway.
So Neil, I'm well known on this podcast for being rude and insulting to all areas of the Christendom.
Makes you feel like a big man.
It does make me feel like a big man. I think it's, I'm just a bit spiky.
For a short amount of time, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a short man as well. That's why I do it.
You're like Wayne Rooney, innit? You've just got that passion. That's what gives you that skill.
That's the problem. You wouldn't want to take, sometimes it can be too much, but you wouldn't want to take it away, and because otherwise, the podcast would fall flat.
Yeah, this is true.
So what I've done is also I'm very well known for being a fantastic lyricist and songwriter. So
okay, I'll take your word for that.
You don't have to. You can look it up.
Okay.
I'm not sure where in my diary.
This is funny because this is a bit like our topic this week. There's very little evidence to substantiate it. Yeah.
Yes, well, it's an urban myth that I am a talented songwriter and lyricist. So what I've done
is your own head.
So I've decided to use my power talent of songwriting to take the piss out of people like us who come from the town of Brighton. Okay. So I've done a little satire song about
came down
about
a peg
Brighton.
or two.
Yeah. So I thought I'd do that, and again to try and placate the listeners who may be angry at me for telling them to fuck off at the end of the last episode. Yeah. So I've not sung it before.
Well, this will be helpful.
I've just written it down. So I think so. What it is, it's 2 or 4 verses and no chorus because I'm avant-garde.
Okay. Just get this over with, yeah.
And I think that it should probably be kind of like, imagine like a Rat Pack style. Like that.
Oh, when you said imagine, I thought you were like a John Lennon song, but okay, Rat Pack, kind of, yes. So I'm imagining, just some horns and just like a bit of, swing beat.
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Out your suit, you've got your skinny tie on. Yeah, go on.
I'm a Brighton man, I live in a van, I get my meals in a nourishment can, I like to longboard and I own a sword, I play my guitar on the beach, I only know 3 chords, I'm a Brighton man, I live in a van, for Christmas presents I give homemade jam, wear vegan shoes and my trousers are loose, I'm a white guy with dreads who tries to sing the blues, yeah, I'm a Brighton man, I live in a van, I don't really work, I have a really nice tan. I take lots of drugs and give unwanted hugs. I annoy all the regulars at the local pubs. I'm a Brighton man, I live in a van. My parents sent me money, they are Beatrix and Dan. I dance to drum and bass with a big grin on my face. I smell of stale sweat, but my heart's in the right place. Yeah! There you go. There you go.
I think that could unite both the mods and the rockers if you've been there early enough, Chris, but there you go.
My uncles, my uncle Sean and Jim, were involved in that particular day.
Okay.
They were mods from London. They drove down to get involved
Have a fight with Bray Winston or whoever was in that
when they were teenagers. I think they avoided the fighting because they were like it wasn't
supposed to be kicking off. It was just it
was like a mod day out and a rock day out collided. So Neil, there you go.
First clash.
So what are we looking at today, Neil? Because I literally don't know.
Have you forgotten? So it's Project Serpo.
Oh, right. Is that
another UFO type thing? No. This is
no. Okay.
Little grey men.
Little grey men.
It was quite tricky actually finding a good source for this because, well, we'll go through it in a minute. It's not got its own wiki page.
Okay.
And there's a rational wiki that does it, but just basically.
Have you heard about? There's some controversy about Wikipedia.
Oh, okay, go on then.
So there are a group, because Wikipedia is like, it's community edited and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there is a group who speak on, who are kind of have put themselves together, who call themselves the skeptics of Wiki. And basically, for anything sort of slightly out there or whatever, people who kind of like someone like George Knapp, who kind of investigates sort of UFO stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he went in to kind of change his, because they got his like date of birth wrong and stuff, and someone he knew said, "Oh, I'll go and change it." I went in to change it, and then it got changed back by one of the members of this group, and basically they are editing all of this stuff so to ignore some things and only have the very skeptical view of things.
Okay.
And that's not great, is it? Because they've got an agenda and they're editing something which is meant to be kind of neutral.
Yeah, well, this is always a problem with community-based things. You do end up getting with these kind of cliques, I guess. But I don't know.
But they're an organised clique, like going through and just changing Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah, but that's what happens, isn't it? It's a bit like
narrative.
What's happening with National Trust membership at the moment. You get loads of people trying to vote on and bang on about how it's become too woke and all of this stuff. It was really they're just trying to, doing the best they can with a small workforce, you would imagine. They're just trying to please everyone, which you can't do.
Well, the problem is,
I hadn't heard about that, but I mean, there's been loads of those kind of things in Wikipedia for years. I mean, it's like anything. You can't trust it all at face value. It's a useful resource, but it's one bit of context. And if you're doing some real research, you look at multiple sources, or
like yourself, Neil.
Yeah,
like yourself, couldn't know Wikipedia this time, so you've gone to multiple sources, gone down the library, looked at the microfiche.
Well, there was a book on this, and it was 13 quid, so that wasn't going to happen. I mean, just reading the book would be enough. But yeah, there is an article that just called "Planetary Objects Proposed in Religion, Astrology, UFOlogy, and Pseudoscience." So maybe this is what's happening, Chris. Is that But anyway, I did also find it. I said to be able to get onto it now, but I was googling a little bit earlier, and there was a website. They seem to be holding some sort of conference on this. I think it's happening this year. So they had a bunch of things for that.
So it sounds underground.
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few books and things published. It's anyway. Let's get into it.
Let's.
So this is from a site called Wattpad. It looks like a sort of blogging site. I've not heard.
Sorry, just before we go, do you think that we should let the viewers know that independently we've both given ourselves crew cuts?
I mean, I think that would be an interesting fact for the listeners. So, yeah.
Do you think that they can probably hear it in our voices? We're getting ready for the riots, aren't we? That's basically what it is.
Can't afford to have too much hair these days. Cost of living crisis.
Oh, that's it. I mean,
price of shampoo? Are you joking?
I'm really trying to cut down the shampoo usage in my house because I need Vosine as well. So.
More time in the shower, washing it back out again.
Yeah, I know it's a nightmare. Those adverts on TV, like so depressing. Like adverts on TV from sort of fucking electricity companies with someone like in a rubber mask pretending to be Einstein. Like, fuck me.
Oh yeah.
And he's going, oh, if you cut your shower time down to 4 minutes, then you could save up to £75 a year. And it's like, so I can't even have a nice wash now. Like, how about just don't have £1 billion profit every year? You fucking.
Well, yeah. I mean, we need to. Yeah.
There's no lack of energy, guys. Right. There's no lack of it. It's just that you're creaming profit off because the government lets you.
Chris, think of the stakeholders. Think of the poor stakeholders that need a payout. Anyway,
look. Well, thankfully, in the recent budget, which actually weirdly made the government's popularity drop even further, because literally everything they do now will. Thankfully, I'm very critical of our current government, but I think we can all agree with the drop in capital gains tax for landlords.
Oh yeah, I mean, finally about time. It's not gone down well. Hunt's
interestingly, 75% of the parliamentary members of the Tory party are landlords. So they'd know about it. So that's something that they're experts in. So that's good.
I mean, that kind of unwarranted cynicism. You should probably join that group on Wikipedia, Chris. Right now, anyway, shut up because got to get through this. You shut up,
right? Birthday boy.
Wattpad.
Just because you're wearing a little shiny hat.
Yeah, got a little crown on. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm the prince.
Yeah. So it's
Mother, Father, it's Prince Neil's birthday. I want a triangle steak and a triangle cake. And presidents of all the triangles I can make. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What else?
Don't know, mate.
Probably be playing in what's it called? Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit, yeah. As long as they lathe down the slightly curved edge of the.
Yeah, I want going on it. Sort of
exactly.
Octagonal.
You need it in an octagon.
Right. So.
Yeah.
This is by an article by Risk Valente from a site called Wattpad. I think it's just a blogging site.
Would you eat something that was pyramid shaped? Or does a square base put you off?
Yeah, I'd kind of want more of a
like a three-sided pyramid.
I mean, at a pinch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a Procon Bouche or something like that.
If I was on a desert island, maybe.
Yeah. And I think their blog is called Think About This.
Oh, nice.
They don't have a lot of articles, but there's a few in here. They seem to be treading similar territory. So the 6 alien species currently fighting for control over Earth. Death of
I want to know who they are quickly. Can we quickly run
triangle? Oh, go on then.
Can I have a guess at some of them? The Greys?
The short Greys, and we'll be talking about those later on, so stuff like that. No.
Nordics who are like
there's short Greys and tall Greys.
Insectoids, spiders, Bigfoots, and the light people.
So there's the Alpha Draconians who are like the reptilians, so I suppose they might be like one of them, you said.
Yeah.
There's native reptilians.
From underground, of course.
Yeah. The Anukai.
The Anukai, yeah, from...
the 12th planet in our solar system, apparently, known as Planet X. And the Syrians. Were involved with Mayan culture and from Sirius B star system.
Anyway, not from Syria, not from Damascus.
Yeah. Anyway, that isn't the article for today. So
okay.
Project Serpo. So in 2005, an anonymous source sent a series of emails to a UFO discussion group led by former US government employee Victor Martinez. These emails detailed the existence of an exchange program between the US government and the Ebens, alien beings from Serpo, a planet from the Zeta Reticuli star system. The program was thus called Project Serpo.
I can see you're enjoying reading this.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's have a look. So the source identified himself as a retired employee of the government, claiming he'd participated in a special program. The program,
so it's an exchange program, like a foreign exchange program.
Yeah, it's a bit like, where you'd. Well, I don't know about you, but it's like we get quite a lot of French kids come over to our school when I was in like primary school and secondary school. But we didn't get to go over and sort of spend a semester in France or what have you. So I never understood how that whole exchange thing worked. But
I think there was, knowing British people in the 90s, there was probably a lack of interest in learning French or anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually offered. I mean, I did end up going on an Erasmus thing when I was, after I'd done uni, but went and spent a bit of time in France. But yeah, they would.
Well, we got, in our town, it's a massive hub for English language students from all over the world. My mum takes students in English language ones, and they come from far and wide, from literally every corner.
Yeah, there's a whole load of places where they've
all got their backpacks on and cluttering up the street in the summer. Ooh. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, no,
a lot of because Brighton's a nice town, despite what I just sung, or maybe because of it, because Brighton's quite a nice town, then a lot of people who you'll meet who have kind of emigrated here, like they came here to study English and just really liked it and sort of fell in love with it, and then decided to come back kind of when they were older. Stuff. So yeah, it's nice.
Cool.
Yeah, adds a lot to the local economy.
Indeed, yeah. It keeps the city vibrant. So the program's origins lay with the 2 UFO crashes in New Mexico in 1947, the famous Roswell incident, and another one in Corona. So this ties into a lot of sort of stuff that we've known, the big hitters. So he claimed one extraterrestrial survived the crash and was transferred to the Los Alamos National Laboratory. Mm-hmm. The other 6 deceased extraterrestrials were placed in a freezing facility in the same lab.
And then they were moved to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, probably.
Yeah, I like that. So it's kind of like, it's a classic sort of ET story, but it's weird actually. This is one of those ones where they don't just come down and I don't know. We'll get into the rest of it in a bit, but they do actually make a bit of a connection. So establishing communications with the scientists and military personnel.
Sexy connection.
Well, but it doesn't. It stays brief on whether there was any kind of like love connection. But so there was a survivor.
I like to think there was.
6 went in the freezer.
Yeah, off you pop.
But he then provided them with location of his home planet and cooperated until its death in 1952. Doesn't say whether the death was suspicious or what have you, but
maybe it was kind of love tryst.
I assume it had some sort of communication device. I don't know how it managed to communicate.
Point in. How do you or I communicate when we go abroad? They do British, like aliens just have to do British abroad.
Speak a bit louder and point. Yeah, not a problem.
Point at pictures.
I come
smile or frown.
Point at a star.
Well, you just get a star map out, wouldn't you? You just go.
I mean, there's quite a lot of area to point at, but fair enough. I think you should just keep on going.
Well, he was just telling him what star system he came from. It wasn't like he told him the roads or anything.
Well, no, but I would have thought he'd, they'd have a different. Anyway, whatever. So he provided information regarding items found inside the crashed UFOs. Mm-hmm. And one of these items was the communication device that it was allowed to use. So he contacted its home planet.
I like the fact that with a lot of because UFO stuff, I'm kind of, I have interest in it, but I'm not sure what I believe. But I like the fact that often the things which are described as being found were like the most up-to-date technologies that humans had at that time. So it's like, I had this really fancy radio, and like, and inside the spacecraft was all of these shiny levers. And then kind of 50 years later, we're kind of just all using touchscreens and stuff, like far beyond what the UFOs apparently had.
Might be hipster aliens.
It could be steampunk aliens.
Yeah, yes. Oh God.
All right.
No.
Finally.
I don't know if those two can coexist. So
they rode this bike. There was like a cycling thing, and they rode
just
that.
Like a penny farthing.
It's like a penny farthing, kind of attached to two propellers at the back of the UFO. Because all of the UFOs, like the early ones, kind of have like submarine portholes in the side of it. Whereas now, when they talk about UFOs, they say, it's just like a
like liquid metal or something.
Yeah, exactly. Just completely different.
Yeah. Or nanoparticles or something. Yeah, no, So the alien, we've gone through the communication device. So they set up a meeting. So basically, they have a bit of, they made friends with this alien. May or may not have had romantic endeavours with it.
Definitely did.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had the time of my life. You ever heard the
When did Marvin
sweetest
Gaye? Was he more sort of late 60s, 70s?
Well, let's get it on.
Yeah, I was thinking,
that would have been 60.
Yeah.
Bow, bow. I've been feeling tired, baby.
So now, ideally, that was what would have happened. But no, maybe it would have been like Rat Pack, like you were doing earlier. Maybe we'd put on some swing music.
Nobody till somebody loves you.
Frank Sinatra style.
Anyway, dressed in kind of a lovely kind of 50s sort of puffy gown, and the scientist who had never found love because he's always in a lab in his kind of trilby. They're dancing on top of a hut at Los Alamos. It's a bit of Rat Pack.
Nice.
Lovely.
So then they decided to set up a meeting where the aliens could come down and sort of have a visit in 64. So supposedly, I mean, I think Kennedy.
But you'll die if I make love to you. It is the way I want to go, human. Oh,
choice
God!
I make, it'll be worth it.
Please. This is all I've ever wanted, human. That's how it died. Romeo and Juliet in the stars.
So it landed near Alamogordo in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And then they retrieved the bodies of their dead frozen comrades and then had a bit of an information exchange.
Oh, that's nice.
Carried out in English thanks to their translation device. So I don't know
Babelfish.
how the initial one did, but yeah, fair enough. So one thing led to another, and in 1965, aliens accepted to take a group of humans back to their planet as part of the exchange program.
Would you do that? Would you go to an alien planet as part of an exchange program?
I'd probably want more information.
Nah.
Would
you? Like what? Is the atmosphere breathable?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have you got food?
Well, because let's wait until the article and have a think about that.
Are all the aliens as attractive as you?
Yeah, exactly. What will you have, Ted, on your home planet?
Because if you're a 1, I'm already aboard.
Yeah. Instead of being light years away. Yeah. One thing led to another. Yeah, we got this. So but also, you don't want to send me out there. They want 12 military personnel carefully selected.
I wouldn't be sending military personnel.
Well, no, I think because they were like trained astronauts. They'd been in
jet pilots.
Yeah, and then they had like probably sort of scientific backgrounds and things like that. Well, actually, it depends on. I think they all had scientific backgrounds. Some of them they say that they were scientists. It's really hard to find any of the original emails that were.
But to be fair,
a
scientist who works for the military, it's military personnel.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah. Well, they have all sorts of,
Okay, so they go to.
So 10 men, 2 women were specialists in various fields. Yeah, there you go.
Oh God, poor women.
And their task was to gather as much information as possible. Yeah, I was going to say you probably want a bit more of a blend there, but there you
even cut.
And there was information as possible regarding all aspects of life, society, and technology on the alien planet. I'm going to say they failed to do that because none of this seems to have come back.
Oh, really? They didn't come back with any information?
Well, no, none of it seems to have been published.
Too busy having a hot time.
Yeah, it could be. So there were 3
never made it out of the red light district, sadly, near the space dock.
You know what it's like,
Yeah.
10 years go past. Next thing you know, well, this is the thing is they were 3 years late getting back, and 4 people short when they finally returned in 1978. So 2 men had died on the alien planet, and 1 man and 1 woman had decided to stay.
Okay.
I just liked it,
Yeah, it's all right.
It's like move to the country.
I could see us retiring here.
Oh, I'm like a Serpo person now, I think.
I think I might have gone native.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is that both the man and the woman, they weren't together. They'd met aliens.
No, they'd met other alien partners, obviously. Yeah.
Because once you've met these aliens on Serpo, you physically can't have sex with a human because we look so dreadfully ugly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the journey to Serpo was apparently 37 light years from Earth, but it only took 9 months for the alien craft.
Okay.
So they had learned. Well, here's what they've learned. So
Okay,
Serpo
good.
is a planet similar to our own, albeit
Good.
smaller. It orbited around a binary star system and had an atmosphere similar in composition to the one on Earth, which you kind of need.
This is like the 3-body problem.
Yeah. Oh, no. However, the 2 suns meant that there were high levels of radiation, and the 12 humans had to resort to protection at all times. 2 of them died from complications. The 2 didn't make it back.
Melanoma.
The heat was extreme, and it took the remaining humans several years to adjust. Another problem was the food. The crew had taken enough food to last them for 2.5 years. I mean, that's probably not a good idea if you want a 10-year visit.
No.
But there you go. But eventually had to resort to eating native Ebon food. Anyone who's travelled abroad knows about the serious gastrointestinal complications posed by eating local food.
So I know that's like a joke, right? I've never had that particularly. Have you? Had like the shits from eating foreign food on it. Apart from that bit of meat which jizzed at me that we had when we were in Greece.
I was going to say, you ate in Greece, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was one thing. That wasn't like just eating local food.
No, I've never had. I mean, they do say it's kind of like a lot of Westerners when they go to India, because I don't know, it's just like a difference in gut bacteria or whatever. I don't know. But I've not actually been out to India yet. But so I don't. So I'm fearing
yet.
I'd like to go one day. Maybe I won't make it, but I would like to go one day.
That's very defeatist.
I've not had it.
We could go to Goa if you want. That's not too expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll go. Well, no, I'm sure I will go one day.
Go and do a show.
Yeah, you never know. Go and redo the Monkey Man episode. Delhi. Yep. So food was a bit of an issue. Another problem was the length.
So did it describe what the food was that they had to eat? The local
absolutely
stuff.
No information about what the environment was, what the food is.
Light on detail.
Yeah, very, very, almost like this is just like science fiction story that somebody hadn't quite invested in, but made up. But another problem was the length of the day on Serpo, just 43 Earth hours long. Also, it never got fully dark as their night skies were dimly lit by the smaller sun. The crew had complete freedom to explore the alien planet and not hindered in any way.
Right.
But they didn't seem to bring back a lot of information. Oh, here we go. There's a bit more. The geology of the alien world was different. There were few mountains and no oceans.
So that says to me that it's an ancient planet.
Could be.
With perhaps not a liquid core, or like very geologically not very active if it has not very many mountains.
Lack of oceans is weird, though.
Well, I mean, if it's smaller and it's got 2 binary... I don't know why I'm trying to science this out. If it's smaller and it's got 2 binary stars, then it would... Because they reckon that the liquid on Earth was from asteroids, don't they? Comets, sorry. Because they often have frozen... They reckon a lot of the water on Earth came from that, rather, it doesn't just come from nowhere. So you would imagine if it's really hot, then they would burn up before they hit, and it's also a smaller target.
Yeah, you just would have thought it would be harder for people to live in that kind of environment, but for life to thrive. But hey, who knows? I mean, things do, and I'm sure there must have still been rivers or whatever, but it doesn't really say. There were also types of animal life, and some of the larger ones were used by Ebons for work and other tasks, but never as food sources. So it sounds like they're all vegetarian. They produce their food for industrial processes, of which they had many.
Oh, so they like doing like lab meat stuff.
Yeah, years ahead of us. So there you go.
That's good.
There was, I've read around a few other things, and they seem to sort of like say, well, they did try and eat some of the animals, and that kind of made them ill. Sometimes they had some issues.
What, the humans?
Yeah.
Would you do that if they're going? Like, if the people are going, we don't eat the animals on this planet, right? We got this, we don't do that anymore.
That's for a burger, though, Chris.
That's an anathema for our culture. It'd be like going to India and just going, quite fancy some beef, and just like slitting a cow's throat in the market stores, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, humans, when will you learn?
But again, it's really hard to know if this is just people spinning on the story, because I can't track. I haven't been able to track down the original emails. Somebody will probably listen and be tearing their hair out and thinking it's really easy to find. But I did 10 minutes of Googling Chris and didn't. Yeah, actually, I don't think anyone will care. Would it? The inhabitants of Serpo lived in small communities led by a large city, so it seems quite small. They lacked a central government, but seem to be doing fine without it.
Oh, anarchists.
Well, it worked for Serpians.
Yeah.
Or Serpicos.
Yeah, well, it's Serpo.
Yeah.
Well, it just sounds like that they've devolved power, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Well, yeah, I could do with a bit of that these days. A lot of people with short-term interests.
Yeah, I mean,
lining their own pockets.
You've petitioned for ages to have the footprint of your property made a separate crown dependency, haven't you?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're a sovereign nation. That was a whole load of cobblers that came up with it. We had these people going in and going, "No, I'm a sovereign citizen, and the laws do not apply to me."
I'm a free man of the land.
Yeah. You see that video? There's a load of people walked into some NHS facility and then read them out a load of stuff. There was something to do with, because of some papal bull decree that I can't remember. It was just complete lunacy.
Yeah,
they decided to.
Well, this is the thing with
everyone a warrant,
as we've said on here before, because people kind of like go, like in fucking Chester, if it's after midnight, you can still shoot a Welshman with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, try it and see how far you get.
Yeah, so the thing is, right, there were these laws, but how the law works is that you don't have to strike laws from off the statute book. They get superseded by newer laws.
Yeah.
Right. So what you're doing there is you're fundamentally misunderstanding the legal system.
I think these people were fundamentally misunderstanding a lot of things, but there you go.
Almost on purpose, you might say.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the problem. You don't believe in anything.
Willful ignorance.
There you go.
But it's a lot of the thing is, Neil, what you got to remember is that the world's quite complicated, and it's easier if you can just not. Just not be. Yeah. Just not. Yeah. No, it's very complicated. I don't want it to be, so I'll just
just dumb it down for me if that's all right.
If you wouldn't mind dumbing down reality.
Just at my level, that's cool. I don't know. I could do with a bit of that, Chris. Sometimes.
But no, we're trying with this podcast.
I'll accept. Yeah, I mean, we're trying it like one podcast at a time. But I accept life and its manifold complications and glory. I don't know what that was. Right, the Ebens had leadership and an army.
Do you know what? Since your birthday, you've become really profound.
If that's what you call really profound.
Yeah. To me, it is. But
it's the wisdom of age, Chris.
I'm just a young buck, so I wouldn't know. Yeah. I look forward to being wise like you one day.
Yeah, one day. So the Ebens had leadership and an army. Oh, they have an army, okay. But the Earth team noticed they'd never used weapons of any type, and violence was virtually unheard of. I'm not really sure.
What were the armies just like martial arts?
Violence was unheard of. So I mean, maybe it was just like for logistical reasons. That's not really what I call an army.
Like natural disasters.
There you go. You like this, Chris? They had no concept of money or commerce. Every Eben was issued with items in accordance with their needs. So you go.
Why would I like that? I'm a super.
You're a hippie.
I'm a super camp. I'm a neocon.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I love laissez-faire capitalism. I think there's too much regulation, and I think that the money is too. I feel that in the current world, the money is still too evenly distributed.
Yeah. I mean, actually, really, because if you think about it, top 1% know what they're doing, yeah? So if you give them all of the money, and then they can just, do what they see fit. For scraps.
They can do what they see fit, and presumably it'd be for the good.
Yeah, it'd be for the great good. But I mean, I think what we're learning here is that having a small population was a good idea for them. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So the humans, they're disciplined in all aspects of their lives. There you go. See, pull your finger out. Working on schedules based on the movements of their suns. There were no other civilizations on Serpo except the Ebens. And these are apparently, they're kind of like little grey men.
Yeah.
What I'll be reading elsewhere. Their method of reproduction was similar to
bureaucrats.
Hang on a minute, Chris. This is a bit here. You'll be. Their method of reproduction was similar to our own.
Oh,
but had a much lower success rate.
So room for a little one.
Therefore, their children were highly isolated.
Okay, are you new round here?
So there's scope for
Well, now we know what we can bring to the party.
Yeah. So, in fact, the only problem the human crew had was when they were intended to photograph even children. They were escorted away by the army and asked not to attempt that again.
So the army are kind of like a police force.
It's more of a police force by the sound of it, yeah. I don't know. I mean, they don't do violence,
Well, escorting someone's a kind of violence against their person.
That's true. I mean,
isn't it?
It all sounds a bit like somebody watched a few too many episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Except this is before.
Yeah. Except they missed out the bit about Fuck Planet, which you've added into this story.
Well, I think Kirk did a lot of that, didn't he?
Oh, no. Wherever Kirk was Fuck Planet, I was talking about the new one.
That's what he called his ball.
Picard was more of an academic, wasn't he?
Of which he only had one.
Yeah.
I call it my fuck planet. Yeah. Yeah. Picard was more monk or more. No, because he was into the human ladies, wasn't
he? Yeah, no, he was already.
Yeah.
Bit
narrow-minded.
Well, he had,
he had old-fashioned tastes.
The one he liked. Because they sent him down to that place, didn't they? And he's just like, "Oh, can I just read my book? Stop trying to fuck me." Ridiculous. I give him like a dildo stature, and it's like, and it was basically like, DTF, green light, everyone. And so I'm just trying to read my book.
Penis, engage.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's what Patrick Stewart says?
What, in real life?
Yeah.
I know for a fact he does.
Yeah.
I do. I know for a fact.
You've got video evidence.
I went out for a drink with Ian McKellen. That was a bad idea, but he spills the beans once he's had a couple.
Didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, once he's had a few brandies, he doesn't mind spilling the beans.
I think that would be quite good actually going out for a pint with those two.
Yeah.
I think we might have talked about this on the podcast before. We did go and see them, and I think it was I can't remember, was it No Man's Land or something? I think it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And I saw Ian McKellen's one-man show as well.
Oh, okay. No, not seeing.
He was talking about Shakespeare. He loves the Shakespeare.
He certainly does. Shakespeare and playing a fictional wizard.
Yeah, I don't know if he loved that. He loved.
By the end, I think he pretty much he loved the paycheck. Yeah. I don't blame him for that.
Fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think they're genuinely one of our national treasures.
The amount he knocks it back, he needs that kind of paycheck.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
And do you know what? And he drinks the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
That's him libelled. Right. Next.
Yeah, that's good. Bloody blah. Returning to Earth, the remaining 8 members of the expedition were quarantined for a year. During this period, they were debriefed, and the complete account amassed to around 3,000 pages. Didn't seem like they condensed
one word each.
Yeah. I don't know if there were 8 of them. That'd be around. Yeah.
It's not a lot.
400 pages a piece. It's reasonable for 10 years, I guess. No, it's not loads. All members of the expedition have since died from various complications due to radiation exposure. And the fate of the 2 people who remain on Serpo is unknown. The Ebens have not contacted Earth since 1985, and I guess there's no way of getting out there.
No, you can't get. So this happened this happened after Roswell and stuff, and so it would have been.
Well, supposedly it was kicked off by JFK, and then you read things about that's why he was assassinated, because he knew too much and he was letting on a little bit too much.
Right.
And then supposedly Reagan referred to it, and there's a story that when Spielberg made Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Reagan,
the Trump of his day.
Yeah, the Gipper.
As I like to call it, where all this shit stems from.
Yeah, pensions era. Yeah, apparently he said, "Oh, you've no idea how true it is." Again, probably all anecdotal and a load of bollocks.
Why doesn't maybe our American friends can let us know? Why does America because he was in charge for about 4 years, having quite bad dementia and stuff. Why does America keep having presidents who were
very elderly, mentally
incapacitated, or drug addicts?
Fun, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it?
Rock and roll, country rock and roll, Chris.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Live fast and die old. Become president when you're 90.
Yeah, it's nice retirement plan, isn't it?
Yeah, we might as well.
It's cheap. The thing is, living in the White House,
about kind of like
living in the White House is a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than paying for assisted care, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
If you can, nice if you can do it, because it means you're not cutting into your inheritance to the kids.
No, that's true. Yeah. So,
Very sensible, really.
nice little
we should all do it.
Yeah, you go. Well, we couldn't, of course, because we're not. You've got to be born an American.
That's for now.
Yeah, I feel that they might change that rule one day.
We'll see what happens.
Just trying to think on the wiki site where there's much more information. So, alleged top secret exchange program. Yeah, I think we already said it was from Zeta Reticuli. And supposedly
Zeta Reticuli.
Supposedly the
Engage.
guy who was behind it all was a bloke called Richard C. Doty, who, depending on who you listen to, has. I mean, there's a lot of people who think he's a bit dodgy, but he did actually know some things. But then there's a load of people who claim that a lot of the stuff that came out, it's all true, but a load of it is disinformation. I'm not quite sure how that works. I don't really get the whole ufology thing. Everyone's got very...
Well, the disinformation would be that you put that out to draw the eyes away from what you're really doing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Put out a big store, big thing. I mean, if I was going to be putting out disinformation and I was, some black budget, whatever, then I think that I'd probably put more detail in it because, you've got people to do that. But yeah, it's to do that. So you're putting the disinformation out that way to hide the fact that actually all the people at the top are reptilians.
Well, that's true. And they're just their friends coming around for Christmas dinner or whatever. Yeah.
No, because none of that happens. It's just information. That happens.
So this is Bill Ryan, a chief proponent of publicising the Project Serpo claims, announced on 2007 he was stepping down from his role as the webmaster for material. He maintains his belief that an extraterrestrial program did occur, although he states that the Serpo releases definitely contained disinformation. So not that the whole thing is untrue, but that it contains disinformation.
So maybe they don't want to panic people, so they said that they don't like violence and stuff, or actually, when the people went up there, it was, they were like, like the Vikings or something. They're not really violent. Really hardcore, yeah.
Who knows? Who can say? I mean, this is one of the things I actually like about it, because, that website doesn't seem to exist anymore. I don't know, you could probably have a look on
the government have taken it down, presumably.
All the lizards have. So, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. So the other things I noticed around...
So didn't some aliens stay here then, if it was an exchange program, or was it just the humans went up there?
I think it was more an exchange of knowledge, and then they sort of often take them back up. So they did come down. They visited in 64 or 65, I think it says. Yeah. So they came down and they swapped some information, and then they took their mates back from the freezer. I think the other lad had died by that point.
Yeah, he had 52. He died, didn't he?
He was in the freezer as well.
I
mean, we'll look here as well. There's a freedom of information request been put in by an AT Greenler. Dear UK Space Agency, could you please provide any and all information you currently hold in relation to Project Serpo?
What the fuck are they asking the UK Space Agency?
I was going to say, Contrition document is a red book currently archived by the United States Defence Intelligence Agency. And they basically go, we don't have anything there, mate.
No, we wouldn't.
Don't even know what the hell that means.
No.
Like, this is what we do, and we don't have a load of stuff about aliens on our books. Soz.
Well, American alien contacts. I mean, they wouldn't share that with us.
Probably not. No, why would they?
No.
I'll also have a look at, Lane Caston wrote a book on all of this, A True Story of Interplanetary Travel. Following a plan set in motion by President Kennedy in 1962, the alien visitors known as Ebens welcomed 12 astronauts to blah, 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 for 10 years, spent 13 years on the planet. So he supposedly chronicled it with all of these people. Let's have a look what some of the reviews say.
9 months on the spaceship would have been a bit of a pain in the arse, wouldn't it? Right, if it's made for small, if it's made for little aliens, like, it's not going to. I mean, I find it quite a pain in the arse being a slightly taller, being slightly taller than average human. It's quite a pain in the arse, let alone if humans are all like 4 foot tall or something.
Yeah, so let's see some of the reviews from. If what Lane Caston says is true, then the world is embroiled within an international grave danger we all need to wake up to. A false flag alien attack initiated by News Wabenland to cull humanity and enslave us all, making the Illuminati, our middle management slave masters. If 12 people really did go to Serpo, and this in fact did happen, and the information that supports this book is not part of the intelligence community's grand deception to pass off UFO invasion as German, a threat that waned from World War II instead of an outright attack on humanity from within itself. If you have the ability to question orders, use it now more than ever. I believe this book could have happened. Was I there? What do I truly know? I know nothing other than this is a fantastic book, packed with lessons for those willing to find them. I'll never look at a smartphone again.
You take a lot of interesting points from there, really.
Yeah,
so he thinks that
he doesn't really explain his stance.
I mean,
doesn't seem to be too keen on the Germans.
Because what I read from what you just said is that he's saying that World War II was actually aliens, not the Germans. And what it sounds like to me is a real clutching at straws by a white nationalist to try and rehabilitate the Nazis. It wasn't even that they were fine. We're all fighting aliens.
It could be, yeah.
To be honest, whenever something angry like that is on the internet, it's almost certainly by a white nationalist.
You could be right, yeah. It's written as a true story. I'm not a skeptic, and I find all the outlandish stuff in this book very plausible. But once one gets used to the idea that aliens are and have been for a long time amongst us, this book starts to carry some weight. Sweep all the fiction novels off your shelf, replace with this.
Why would I
it's
throw
just
away
not a
my
very
other
interesting story. I mean, I don't know. None of them seem to get into much more detail. Let's have a look at them.
Why would you have to? You can have more than one book on your shelf.
Get the fiction off the bookshelves, Chris. It's time to live in the real world.
It's rotting your mind. It's chewing gum for your brain.
Oh,
Get rid of it.
X-Files. Idiot.
That's real. The X-Files is real. The CIA had involvement in it, and it's part of slow disclosure.
Anyway, it's gotten a lot of very
positive reviews.
Positive reviews. So there you go, isn't it? I can't go through anymore.
What's that book called again?
It's called Secret Journey to Planet Serpo, A True Story of Interplanetary Travel by Len Caston. Okay. So yeah, apparently that's one of the bigger books that
people read.
People read on this. Because there's been like documentaries about it. I think someone even made a movie. But yeah, it's been loads of books written about it. So,
and what you're saying, just in case anyone's listening, is you would want more information about living conditions.
Like if
you're a teenager, you might just go, yeah, fuck it. But
let's take it at face value and say that 10 people did go up to an alien planet, and they've not really answered anything about how what technology they used or any of the rest of it. But if you've done that and you've been there for 10 years, I mean, surely what they actually disclosed is, there's not that many mountains and that many oceans.
People really
uncurious set of
really ill-equipped for the role. Well, I'm not. I don't really.
Jodie Foster puts it in contact. They should have sent a poet, Chris.
Well, yeah, that would have been good, wouldn't it? Send a poet.
Yeah.
Dead within a week.
The beauty of the even sky.
Yeah, I know, but what weapons do they have?
It's Beret and his wits. Well, her Beret and her wits.
Yeah.
Either or. Doesn't matter, does it?
All right, Neil, let's go.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I did say you.
That was all right.
It's a fun little story, but it's just, I don't know, there's a lack of. I find it really hard to find any kind of like primary source for any of this stuff.
What I'll say is, if any of our listeners have any better sources, or just want to get in touch, then please do at herb.legends.podcast@gmail.com. It works because we did get a message through, which I will talk about next week, or at Legends Urbane on the Twitter. Because if you've got any more information, I'm not suggesting you've been there. Maybe you have. Who knows? Maybe
you've come back from a holiday. Maybe you've been in touch with them since '85.
Maybe we didn't know about it. Maybe it's on that Secret Escapes one which the posh people used to go to spa days.
Yeah,
maybe it's on there.
I would imagine Elon Musk is getting back and forth to, their Probably
You
goes
would
there
hope.
about twice a year. Isn't
I don't know. He's constantly on Twitter Spaces with conspiracy theorists these days, so I'm not sure he would.
he? Yeah, that's true.
With like Alex Jones and stuff.
Sadly, I had to mute him on Twitter because he just kept popping up.
Oh, I muted him ages ago.
Yeah.
I say you don't even
sadly.
use Twitter. You must have actually logged on to mute him.
I do. I have an account I set up under an old band we did, Stone Beach. But,
you've got the Stone Beach
but
account?
I do follow the our other account, which promotes this.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I wondered
I'm
who
Stone Beach. Yeah,
I wondered why someone had stolen our band name.
Yeah, I set it up years ago just in case.
I thought it was just coincidence.
No.
Oh, well.
There you go. That's explain that little mystery.
Yeah, lovely. That's really the best thing that's happened so far in this pod.
Two back-to-back winners. I think we had.
This one was better.
Yeah.
So, spookiness, Neil. Aliens, traveling abroad, love making.
Yeah, I mean, no, it sounds quite a nice holiday, to be honest with you. One of the ones that didn't die of radiation poisoning.
Do you know what? It was lovely, but I couldn't stomach the food.
No fish and chips, no pucker pies. That's what they need to do.
Do you know what? They only had series one of Only Fools and Horses. By the end of the week, I'd seen it 5 times.
No chip shop, no UK Guard. I don't know if I could put up with that for 10 years.
They didn't, and they didn't have the Premier League.
It's getting spookier and spookier by the second now, Chris. This is one of the things I quite like about it, actually, is it's a sort of alien story where they're not mutilating cows or, some sort of threat or what have you. It's, just a sort of peaceful exchange. But this is probably why you don't have one of these too often, because it's just a bit boring. It's not spooky. It's not trying to be spooky. So I can't really give it a high one on this. It can be a 2 for me, I think. It's not like that, they've not been taken there out of their will or anything. It's just, someone crash landed here. He's communicated. They've made friends.
Yeah. So the fact that
become lovers.
But then the lover died, and grief is the most spooky thing of all.
A bond,
isn't it?
Yeah. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
I disagree.
Fair enough.
The juice. I would argue that perhaps the juice ain't worth the squeeze, to be honest.
You keep throwing outs on that one.
So I agree. It's not spooky. It's as a capitalist, I find that anarchist way spooky, and I think that actually, very much like the Cold War, the different systems of governance should mean that we should be very suspicious of them. So because
did they kill Kennedy? That's what I asked myself.
Because they killed Kennedy, and because they're
definitely killed JFK.
They're anarchos. I'm going to give it 4.
Fair enough.
Believability. So what I say is it ties into some other stuff like Roswell and that kind of stuff. So that's good. I can't say that I think it's fully believable, Neil. The fact that they came back with very little information. I mean, maybe it's just a boring planet. Can you imagine?
Maybe they just couldn't get all of the information out. I don't know. It might all be sitting there. Maybe there's reams of information we're not. This is our source didn't have access to. I don't know.
I'm not throwing any shade on anyone who's from this place or anything. And it's all right. But if you went to like Crawley for 10 years, how many pages of writing could you come back with describing it?
3.
About 3. With a drawing. So what I'm saying is, maybe it was just
it wasn't much to write about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Earth could just be like
planet, nothing special.
Yeah, it's all right. 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right for a stop off, but I wouldn't spend more than a weekend.
Spend 10 years there. Yeah.
So maybe that makes it more believable. The fact that it isn't spectacular. Because of that, I'm giving it a 5 now.
Yeah. I'm kind of split down the middle on this one because it's. Do I believe it? No, but I'm not. I don't buy in massively to the whole ufology thing, but that's fair enough. But people tend to have other things. It's really difficult to know because I think a lot of people do accept these things at face value. But do people believe it could have happened or did happen? Absolutely. Like there's a lot of people who do. Give credence to this, and fair enough. I don't have the facts to dispute it, but I don't see a lot of evidence to back it up either. So I'm personally not necessarily I'm not believing it, but I think that it's probably believed by quite a few people, or they believe aspects of it. It all gets a bit funny with everyone seems to have nefarious
claims and counterclaims and
exactly.
psyops.
Yeah, and all of that jazz. That's too exhausting for me to pay enough attention to. So yeah, I'd probably give it a 5.
Wheels within wheels.
I'll give it a 6 actually, because I think
6,
they
nice.
probably do. Yeah.
Jumped it up at the end there. So Neil, narrative premise. Yeah,
well, I think that's one thing you probably do have here. I think I don't recall another one where there'd been kind of like a, they invited a load of people to go around. You sort of hear about the abductions and all the rest of it. But yeah, you kind of think that this sort of thing might something you do. I mean, it appears that we didn't make very good holiday guests, because I imagine it was like, English football fans a few years back, just smashing up the town square in Eben because they didn't get invited back after the 80s.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how they maybe didn't comport themselves very well. I mean, do you think that's it? They were just always out on the piss?
Well, we don't. So, I mean, I would say the lack of information on intoxicants is conspicuous.
Yeah, it's conspicuous by its absence, isn't it? So maybe we've stumbled across what really happened. Yeah. And they just end up kicking off in the town square.
Maybe they got
put in chokey for 12 years. And then
that's what I was going to say. Maybe the first night they tried a bit of the local brew, kicked off, and then got put in the slammer. That's why they were late back.
And back home deported.
And that's why they all had fuck all information.
There's not many mountains. No oceans.
Walking trees, I think.
Yeah. They don't eat a lot of animals. They do. They harness them. They've got a lot of processes. Yeah. I think
that's probably it.
Yeah, this is probably what happened.
It's probably more like Oz.
Yeah. If only they'd been more transparent, we'd learn a lot more about the judicial system on Zeta Reticuli. That would be a fascinating thing. But there you go. Yeah, weird stuff about the army. I think there's a lot of you could fill in a lot of gaps here. You could do a lot. I think there's the grounds for it's a bit like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What happens after they go up to the alien planet? So yeah, I think there's a reasonably rich source for things. So I'm going to give it a 7.
7. Yeah, I quite like it. It's got everything. So it's got threat at the start, but it turns out the alien's okay. Then everyone learns. Then you've got a love story. Then you've got an adventure.
Didn't make that bit up.
Then you've got a prison drama.
Yeah.
And you've got a road trip. Got hospital stuff with all the radiation things. I love it.
Wacky comedy with Ches, who's always creating trouble.
Yeah, got a wacky comedy. He's
the one that got the extra strength.
Yeah,
particular nail.
Yeah, they try and learn each other's humour and stuff. Yeah. It's like brilliant. I'm giving it a 9, Neil. I like it.
Nice.
So Breach, from what you're saying, not huge, but I think probably within the UFO community, big.
Yeah, I think within a niche community, it's probably massive, but I don't know how representative that is of the rest of humanity.
Like the band's Placebo.
Yeah. Because if you're not British, you probably don't know who Placebo are. Case in point, or American listeners.
The lead singer was American. Brian Malco.
Yeah, but he never made it big in America, did he?
I think Nancy Boy did all right in America. And Pure Shores. No, that's someone else.
I suspect it was more of a kind of like indie college thing. I doubt it.
Yeah. But that's who we are, Neil. Us youngsters, us young bucks, we know all about the indie stuff, don't we? Bands like Placebo and that hot new bands.
Yeah, hot new bands from the 90s. Yeah. 30 years past the sale by date. I like a bit of Placebo.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Good luck to them. So, talked around, I seem to remember. I've probably said that about 5 times in this podcast already.
What's that?
We talk quite a lot about Placebo for some reason.
I don't think so. I think you've mentioned it like once. I mean, there's only so many things in the world now. We've done like 200 episodes.
Yeah.
And both of us don't
stick 2 monkeys in front of a podcast.
We don't get neither of us get any new experiences, do we? Because we pretty much sit at home. So
that's true.
So Reach. But 4.
Yeah, fair enough. Probably go the same, to be honest. As I say, it's big in UFO communities, but I don't know how that represents the whole. And actually, the other thing is, although there's been books and stuff written about it, trying to find like a primary source or somebody actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like real names or anything. Just like impossible. So yeah, no, I'm going to give it a 3 actually.
And that gives us 40 half marks. Not too bad.
Yeah.
I apologise for last week and stuff, and hopefully you've forgiven me, and this episode has been more pleasant for your ears. Hopefully you have a nice week and everything, and if you want to leave us comments and stuff, that would be really good. But yeah, apart from that, from me and the birthday boy, we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Happy birthday.
Charles.
It's an urban legend. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, girls are great. Oh, I'd give it my best. White and white, please, John. Right, Steve, you so rag.